you're obviously an example of a woman with a mastery of science and technology, but there's a long-standing question of how more women can be drawn into the STEM areas. And I'm curious, you're, you know, at the top of people in our government who are mastering these complex issues. How can this area be more supportive for women? How can government, private industry encourage women to get involved earlier and more effectively?
As you mentioned, I was the president of a science and engineering university before I came back to federal service. And of course, one of the things we were trying to do was encourage more girls, more young women, to go to engineering school, engineering and science school. One of the things we found is that if you look at teenagers, more boys, there's an overlap in the middle, but more boys are satisfied by solving the problem. They get satisfaction out of, you know, fixing something, solving a problem. Disproportionate number of girls want to know why the problem matters. So if we say, you know, come be an engineer, you can do cool stuff, we're talking to the boys. If you say, if you want to make a difference in someone's life, if you want to have clean water, or save the life of a family member you love, or make the environment cleaner, or provide energy to the world, be an engineer. Then we're talking to both boys and girls. And I think that sometimes the way in which we talk about engineering is not resonating with our daughters, and it is with our sons.
And is that something that you're trying to push yourself as an initiative?
Well, my daughter's studying engineering. Does that? Now, I have to say that I think I'm trying to, both personally, but also in the way we try to recruit. And it's not just, you know, we have this issue in the Air Force of about pilots. We have a pilot shortage. But when we look at the people who are currently pilots in the Air Force, and when we look even nationwide, a small percentage are women. A small percentage are also minorities too, and that's also an issue. We did something this summer that I'm kind of excited about. We were saying, all right, we got a pilot shortage. We know that less than 10% of Air Force pilots are minorities in America today. That is very, very small compared to the American populace. So what can we do? And the data says that minorities and women decide later. So it's high school or college rather than in middle school that they think they may want to fly. So we have junior ROTC in a lot of places around the country. Here's an interesting fact. 58% of the kids in junior ROTC, so in high schools, 58% of them are minorities. So we started scholarships. We made 120 of them this summer. We partnered with 7, 8 universities, so University of North Dakota, Auburn, Emory-Riddle, and we're sponsoring 120 kids from junior ROTC, so they've already said they're interested in the military a little bit, to get their private pilot's license. Full ride scholarship, go live on a college campus and learn to fly. There's no commitment to come into the Air Force, and the neat thing is, when that cohort they're with, they're not the one girl or the one minority and 100 boys. So we got 120 of that. We didn't make a big splash about it because we only had 120 slots initially. We had 800 kids apply, high school kids from junior ROTC. So for inspiring the next generation of aviators, this one may work, but we're going to watch it pretty carefully and try not to screw it up.